All right, welcome back to a brand new video of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. So I left Pam's apartment around a little after 11. She was supposed to be on her way home, but as usual, which I was surprised that she actually called me because she had a graduation party to go to. And then she called me and she was like, well, the graduation party's over, but they want to go do karaoke, so I'm going to go for an hour. And I was like, okay. I'm like, wow, she actually called me. She was actually courteous. Like the things I've been asking for her to do for how long now? When I used to watch the kids for her, I said, hey, we decided on a time. And, if change plan, you call me and you let me know if I can stay or not. If I can't stay, then, you got to leave. Right? But at least give me that opportunity, at least, be courteous. And, so I was very surprised. But anyhow, hour passed and I was like, okay, I didn't hear from her. I was like, well, I got to go. And I text her. She didn't respond. So I called her. She's like, oh, I saw your text. And she was like, yeah, they're still doing okay. Like I said, she will forego being home with her kids just because she's having fun. And forget about the kids. I told her, I said, listen, even though the kids don't have school tomorrow, because she's banking on that, she can stay out late because the kids don't have school tomorrow. I said, but guess what? When you're not here, I'm not here. They'll stay up until you come home. Right? And on top of that, Ethan has to study because he has chemistry exam, and Alyssa has school on Thursday. Like things like that. She doesn't see past what's in front of her. She's excited because, she doesn't have to work tomorrow. Kids are off tomorrow. So she's going to be out all night, what have you. And I'm just like, even though she told me, she's like, I'm not staying out late, what have you. I'm like, yeah, I know how you are already. You start having fun. All of a sudden, 11 o'clock turned into 12 o'clock, turned into 1 o'clock, turned into 2 o'clock, what have you. Right? Because she has to be the last one to leave or want to leave, because she's having too much fun. It's ridiculous. But that's how she is. So I just have to remind her, say, listen, even though the kids are not off tomorrow, they still have, Ethan got a test he has to get up early for. Alyssa still has to be to school. Like, again, because today, last night she did Alyssa's hair late. She didn't finish doing Alyssa's hair until 1 o'clock at night. And I said, why do you do this? Why you keep, to the point, I don't even say anything anymore to her. Because it doesn't make any sense. Because I said to her before, I said, listen, don't braid her hair because it's late already. It's after 8 o'clock. And, she's like, no, I'm not going to braid her hair. Actually, it was 9 o'clock. It was a little going on 9 because Alyssa didn't want to wash her hair. So I left it a little after 9, and Alyssa was still in the bath, so I know she had to wash Alyssa's hair. And again, she braided her hair, and we'll have her up until 1 o'clock after 1 when she went to bed. And she never really went to bed because she went to bed even later, Alyssa that is. And Pam got up this morning. Again, she got up late because, again, she stayed up late doing Alyssa's hair, and she got up late. So, she couldn't even take Alyssa to school this morning because she got late, Alyssa got late. And she calls me at 9:30, like I said, they're heading your predator department. Look at it, or they just went by there, your predator department. Right? So again, this is what they'll do. Right? And and here's another thing too, right? Usually when she calls me, like I have her picture so that I'll see that it's her that's calling. So I got a call, so she called me and then her picture didn't show up, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? But then I think they did it to try to test my memory because at first I didn't recognize the number. And then she called back, so I said, okay, it must be her. But this is what they do to try to see if I remember certain things, right? Again, because the dark triads, the psychopath and the sociopath and the narcissist in the police department, in the predator police department, and in the U.S. government, the the FBI, the security agencies, they know what they do to TI. They know how it affects us. They know that they've damaged us, that it affects our cognitive ability, that it affects our memory. But they want the public to believe because you might remember certain things that, that they haven't caused you any sort of cognitive damage, right? But it's all lies. It's all lies. Okay? This is what they do in order to avoid accountability for what they have done, right, and what they continue to do. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I finally got my software to work, my OBS software. It has set everything to default, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I remember doing an update. Now, did I do a video after I did the update or before? I'm not sure. So it could be because when I updated, but I think I did a video after the update, right? Because and that update was a while ago. But this is what they'll do. They'll go into the software, hack my computer, and change the settings, right, to where everything is disabled. And again, it's like with my disability, you know, and so forth. So they love doing that to me, right? They love tell me that they disabled me, and then try to engage in this sort of psychological game, in where they send me subliminal message saying, "Oh well, you know, you're not disabled because you this and that." So, you know, it's all the nonsense. So I did a video tonight, which I uploaded, about how they hijacked my son's mind, right, as I was leaving. And he gets up and he goes, it's just like what they did with him, what they would do with Pam normally, but because I guess she's not there. So they, again, show me how they will hijack, you know, my son's mind. And, you know, goes into the kitchen before me, because I was going into the kitchen to put on my shoes, goes to the kitchen before me, turns around, stares at my pendant, and says to me, "I got you." You know, and I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. You see, like I said, I can tell when they have hijacked his mind, also my daughter's mind, because of the thing that they say, right? And like I said, prior to that, leading up to that, they were very aggressive with using the sirens to try to manipulate me into staying, right? Again, this is what they do all the time, right? To manipulate you, a TI, me as a TI, into, you know, making decisions based off of their manipulation, right? Based off of their nudging or pushing you in a psychological manner, using silent sound spectrum, also using sound. And so after I uploaded the video, right, they started hitting me with V2K, right? And for those who don't know V2K, voice to skull, right? But except they were, it was crickets, right? You know what I'm saying? It was crickets, right? That's what they were using V2K to do, just to do the sound of crickets. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, okay, yeah. You see, they know that people are becoming aware of what it is that they've been doing, and the methods and tactics that they've deployed and employed in terms of manipulating us into engaging into certain types of behavior or saying certain things, and even, again, others, right? Hijacking other people's consciousness to give you wrong information, right? To give you to basically lie to you, and they don't even understand what's going on. Okay. So these people are evil and they're wicked. That's what they are. They are evil and they are wicked. Okay. So like I said, there's no question in my mind that, you know, if and when black people ever decide to wake up, right, and fight back, right, they have to be just as brutal as the people that are oppressing us and doing this to us. Because you can't be any other way, right? If they believe that they can implant you as a human being, whether you're black, white, or have you, just because they want to control you and they want to control the population, right? And I'm not talking about your everyday, average, normal human being. I wouldn't even say normal human being. I'm talking about those that are empowered, the elites, who wake up and make conscious decisions because they have the power, they have the resources, they have people who have the skills, right, to do these sort of things, okay, that when we confront them, okay, you have to be just as brutal as they would be, and as they are. You cannot shake these people's hands. You cannot sign an agreement with them. You cannot. Okay? They will never adhere to any sort of agreement, any sort of compromise. Because again, they are all about control, and they already, like I said, sent me subliminal messages about, that they will use the nuclear option if black people across the world wake up to what it is that they do. Right? So they'll spend billions and billions of dollars researching the brain, researching the human mind, so that they can control us. Okay? And again, black people are not, we don't do what they do. Okay? Our history shows it. We don't do what they do. Anyhow, this bus is going to be a while to come, because this is that a bus there? Nope. Because this bus takes a very long time to come, particularly when it's after 11, after 10 o'clock. This is one of those bus lines that you have to wait, longer than any other bus line because of the route that this bus goes to and from. All right, so tomorrow is Juneteenth. I don't really celebrate Juneteenth because I think it's a waste of time. That this is the U.S. government giving black people a slap in the face, particularly black Americans American descendants of enslaved people in America. It's a slap in the face, right? They don't want to give them reparation, but we'll give you a holiday, Juneteenth, okay? Now remember, right, that they're celebrating Juneteenth, but slavery didn't end, okay? On the date in which the slaves were emancipated, because there were still people in states like Texas, and other states that were still being enslaved. Okay? So, it'd been better off if they called it Emancipation Day. Okay? But again, like I said, they'll give black people symbolic shit, and we'll love it, we'll soak it up. Meanwhile, they'll create products, white companies will create products and market it to black people about Juneteenth, and they're getting wealthy, except for, again, black people, right? So understand how they operate, understand how they work. Understand that even during the Civil Rights Movement, when they passed the Civil Rights Act, that they had already started the process of manipulating black people to do what? To take their money out of black banks and put it into white banks. Okay? To go into white businesses and ignore the black businesses that they had been shopping at during Jim Crow. So again, the white supremacists don't give you anything out of the goodness of their heart. Right? We just move from one form of slavery to another. Right? But black people don't see, they still think that they're free, while their minds are being manipulated, their minds are being controlled, and they still think that they're free. Tell you, can't make this shit up. But this is, like I said, this is my purpose. One of my purposes is to expose this. So, like I said, well, they can call me crazy all they want, but I tell you what, none of these news agencies will come and talk to me, or Alda. I said news agencies come and talk to me. Yeah, the police sirens. Yep, they're afraid. So particularly if I'm on Amazon and I look for books that are written by TIs, they will use the sirens. See, they don't want us to let people know what's going on, or explain what's going on. So they will, particularly when you have the technical knowledge of what it is that they're doing, and understand the psychological tactics and methods, what they were doing. They don't want you to tell your story because, again, like I said, TIs are the evidence, the living evidence of the U.S. government engagement in non-consensual human experimentation, illegally microchipping individuals for the purpose of that, remote neural monitoring, and for the purpose to control them. All right? And they will go to any method and to any extreme to hide that fact. Okay? If it means setting you up in any way and whatever way they can, that's exactly what they'll do. All right. What is he doing? He just gonna stand up here and park? Look, I want you to understand what it is that they do, right? I want you to understand what it is that they do. So he just pulled up here. What? Reading? What are you reading, bro? Like, really? Anyhow, again, the color black. Yeah. All right. So again, I want you guys to understand and know how they engage in color psychology. All right, and weaponization of color. Okay. Now I want you to see how he looked over in that direction, which is that way. All right. So I'm coming from the opposite direction. But there's a reason why he pulls up here and then he turns and he looks over that way. Okay? All right? So this is the bus stop. You could have pulled up across the street. Matter of fact, you could have went up further even up there. Yeah, goodbye. 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 And so as he was driving, as he's pulling off, I'm not sure if I got the video, but he has a piece of paper in his hand, and it was the color blue and white. So as I was getting off the bus, I was listening to Spotify. All of a sudden, I hear something. I was playing music. All of a sudden, I hear something else. So it was it was an ad. Right, YouTube. Now, mind you, YouTube should not be open up on my phone because I have Spotify open, right? And the ad, it says I think it was HBO Max, and it was the same color, blue and white. Okay, so again, I want you to understand how they hack into my phone and then they'll pull some stunt like this. This is what they do. Like I said, that's why I expose them. Because they're showing you, they're showing me as a TI, how they can manipulate our electronic devices, our phones, our computers, whatever, to engage in psychological warfare, right, and psychological operation. All right, talk to you guys in the next video.